Today on Grow with Dr. Joe, I am sharing with you my top 3 vegan recipes. The first recipe is crispy cauliflower buffalo or barbecue bites. The next recipe is a creamy coconut vegan pork ramen noodle soup. If you aren't vegan or have somebody that in your house that isn't vegan, just substitute pork for the vegan pork. And the final recipe is an all-time favorite. It's my Asian vegan beef lettuce wraps. If you live with somebody like I do, Farmer Fred, who isn't a vegan, then just substitute regular beef for the vegan beef and enjoy these delicious vegan recipes. Thank you for clicking that like button and subscribing, as it will help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2023.
We're going to start by heating our oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit. We want to make the vegan ranch dressing that you are going to use as your dip for your buffalo bites before you make the buffalo bites. The reason for this is that the ranch dressing is best if it has a chance to sit for a few hours or even overnight. To make the vegan ranch dressing, take a medium bowl and add 1 cup of your vegan mayonnaise to the medium bowl. Add about 1/4 cup of plant-based milk. I use almond milk or oat milk. Add 1/4 teaspoon of paprika, teaspoon of rice vinegar, or you can use lemon juice, and a teaspoon of roasted garlic powder. A tablespoon of chopped fresh parsley and 3 tablespoons of finely diced chives, and 1 tablespoon of fresh chopped dill. Whisk that all together to combine, and then refrigerate it until you're ready to serve your buffalo bites. To make the cauliflower buffalo bites, start with a nice medium-sized head of cauliflower. Cut it into about 40 bite-sized pieces. In a medium-sized bowl, add a cup of almond milk or plant-based milk, and 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of roasted garlic powder, and a teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, and mix that all together. That is going to be the batter for your cauliflower. Go ahead and coat your cauliflower with that batter. Stir it all together until it's nicely coated. And then in a separate bag, I usually use a 1-gallon food storage bag. Add about 1.5 cups of your breadcrumbs. You can use plain breadcrumbs or panko breadcrumbs. Take your coated cauliflower bites and put them in the breadcrumbs. I usually add like maybe 10 of them at a time, so you'll make about 4 batches of them. Shake them in the bag until they're nicely coated. Sometimes the panko breadcrumbs in the bag will get a little soggy and you need to add more panko breadcrumbs. You can dump out the soggy breadcrumbs and add some additional breadcrumbs until you are done if you have a large head of cauliflower or are making extra cauliflower bites. Go ahead and place the breaded cauliflower bites on a parchment-lined baking sheet, and then put that baking sheet in the oven to bake the cauliflower bites until they're nice, crispy, golden brown color. It takes about 20 minutes to bake them. Now it's time to make the buffalo and the barbecue sauce. Both of these sauces are really easy to make. You're going to want a small saucepan for each of them. We'll start with the buffalo sauce. Add a cup of your Frank's Red Hot sauce or any other hot sauce. I like the Frank's Red Hot sauce. It's about the right amount of heat for me, but other sauces have less or more heat. So whatever your preference is. Put about a cup of that in a saucepan and add 3 tablespoons of your vegan butter to this hot sauce. In addition to that, you're going to add a tablespoon of some apple cider or rice vinegar. I'm using rice vinegar here, and a tablespoon of golden syrup. You can use maple syrup if you want to and don't have golden syrup. Heat that on a burner until it comes to a simmer. Let it simmer for about 5 minutes until it's nicely combined and hot. Barbecue sauce, I like a sweetened barbecue sauce. You could actually just heat up Sweet Baby Ray's sauce. straight out of the container and use it, or add some sweetener to it. I used half a cup of either maple or golden syrup to the Sweet Baby Ray's sauce and heat that up. Once your cauliflower bites are nicely crisp, brown, and golden, it's time to coat them with your buffalo sauce and your barbecue sauce. Put them in a bowl, pour the sauce over them, toss to combine, and they are ready to serve. Serve them with your vegan ranch dressing, a little garnish of chives or freshly chopped parsley, and enjoy. We are going to start by cooking the ramen noodles for this vegan pork coconut curry ramen noodle soup. Start with about a 3-quart kettle, fill it about halfway full of water, and bring it to a boil on a high heat. Add a teaspoon of salt and then your ramen noodles. These ramen noodles are Asian ramen noodles that I purchased on Amazon. You can also get them at an Asian food store. As you can see, they are flat and white. If your ramen noodle is yellow, it may have eggs in it, so look for the white ramen noodles as they don't have eggs. Once your noodles are cooked al dente, then take them off the heat and drain them. Save about 3 cups of your water from your ramen noodles because you are going to use that later on in your soup. Let's go ahead and make the soup. For the soup, you're going to use plant-based sausage. I used Beyond sausage. You can use any plant-based sausage. Chop it up into small pieces, put it in a kettle and brown it up. Add about 4 cups of chopped baby bok choy to the browned pork. The pork may stick on the bottom of the kettle, and that's okay. You're going to deglaze all those yummy crispy pieces of vegan pork that stuck on the bottom of the kettle. Next, you're going to add 2 teaspoons of roasted garlic powder and a small diced Thai chili if you like your soup spicy, or I use a jalapeno chili and it makes it less spicy. Cook that up for about 2 to 3 minutes until your baby bok choy is soft. If you don't have baby bok choy, you can substitute a couple of other things like Swiss chard or even regular bok choy for the baby bok choy. Go ahead and use your 3 cups of reserved pasta water to create a broth for your soup. Add a teaspoon of your vegan ham-flavored broth base, a teaspoon of vegan beef-flavored broth base, and a teaspoon of vegan faux soup base. Stir that all together and use about a cup of it to deglaze your kettle if needed. If you've already deglazed the kettle but with the moisture in your vegetables, go ahead and add everything to the soup. Add a tablespoon of your curry powder and then reduce the heat. Put a cover on it and let it simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes. After your soup has simmered for 2 to 3 minutes, go ahead and add 1 14-ounce can of coconut milk, about a teaspoon of salt, and your drained noodles. Cook until the noodles are a little bit more done, or if you like them al dente, just cook until they're nice and hot. Divide the soup among your individual serving bowls and top that with a nice squeeze of lime. Serve with a lime of wedge on the side and enjoy. We are going to begin by cooking 1 cup of the sweet pink rice and 1 cup of the black forbidden rice according to the package instructions. While the rice is cooking, let's go ahead and make the Asian beef wraps. We are going to julienne some carrots. I have a julienne peeler that I use to make my julienne carrots. Love this peeler. It makes such great even pieces of julienne matchstick carrots for garnishes or even for a salad. My website has a link to where you can purchase this peeler. Once you get a half a cup of the julienne carrots, go ahead and also thinly slice a half a cup of scallions. Next, you're going to want to mix 2 tablespoons of soy sauce with 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce. To make the filling for the Asian lettuce wraps, brown the vegan beef on medium heat. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes. Break it up with your spoon, stir it around until it is all nicely browned. Once it's nicely browned, go ahead and add 1 cup of your diced onions, 10 ounces of finely chopped baby Bella mushrooms. Stir that together and let it cook about 4 minutes. You want to make sure the moisture is all evaporated. In addition to that, you're going to want to add 2 cloves of minced garlic. Prior to starting, you want to have mixed 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and your 2 tablespoons of hoisin sauce together. Pour that in on top of the mixture. Add a couple of teaspoons of fresh grated ginger, a couple of teaspoons of green dragon or sriracha sauce if you like it a little bit more spicy. Once it's cooked, add a teaspoon of sesame oil and stir that together. Let it cook until all the moisture is absorbed and give it another minute or so to heat through really well. Now it's time to check your rice. It should be cooked by now, and remove your vegan beef mixture from the stove. Let's go ahead and assemble your Asian beef vegan lettuce wraps. Take one of your pieces of Boston Bib lettuce and add about a heaping tablespoon of the black rice, a heaping tablespoon of the pink rice, a heaping tablespoon or 2 of the vegan beef mixture, and then garnish it with your matchstick carrots, your scallion slices, a little cilantro, and top that whole delicious mixture with a sprinkle of sesame seeds. It's ready to eat. This recipe makes about 18 Asian vegan beef lettuce wraps. You can serve them buffet style and let everyone assemble however many lettuce wraps they want and put the ingredients they want into them, or you can pre-assemble them all ahead of time and serve them pre-assembled. Either way, they are delicious. Enjoy.
Thank you for watching. For more neuroscience nutritional nuggets, simple and smart tips, and healthy recipes, go to my website at growwithdrjoe.com.